American Legion family, which stretches from the Great White Mountains to the land of the lakes to the Atlantic Ocean. Commander Neil.
And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We are on the street here in Indianapolis. The American Legion Convention Parade, annual tradition. The delegation from Idaho just passing by. And so we are just starting. I'm told it's going to be a long parade. Could be 2.5 hours or more. A lot of groups, 50 states represented. And great tradition by the American Legion. We're right under the Indianapolis War Memorial. And we've got the delegation from New Hampshire coming in. Hope you can see that all right. Good to see them. And so it's going to be a fun afternoon watching the parade. Have to give a salute to the colors for the Department of New Hampshire. They got a nice band. Their white helmets. So this is fun, and we are right close to the parade lineup as the Department of New Hampshire walks by. So again, this is presented by Sons of the American Legion Radio, based at Squadron 135. Look at this car doing a fancy wheelie. Leap and Lena, the one and only Brewster Gold Life from Newport, New Hampshire. They're having some fun.
Department Commander.
And so we are going to have
UN Cannon and Sons of the American Legion Commander Heine.
Look at that.
We have a large host of past
I don't want to move the camera too much. Creates a little bit of vibration, and but this should be fun. This is working out. We got a nice live picture from downtown Indianapolis, and so please pass this along. Please let us know where you're watching from. I see Angela, Lake George Post 374, and hope you'll settle and watch it. Not sure they've done this before, but first time we've done it. And once we got out here, this is terrific. This is a lot of fun to be able to cover a parade. Now we got the group from California. They're making their presence felt. Got to get a picture.
Led by Convention Chairman Mr. Jim Stewart.
So California colors coming by.
Who else we got in there? There he is. There's past National Commander and Department Adjutant Mr. Richard J. Santos and his First Lady Linda. The American Legion Detachment of Delaware and American Legion Auxiliary Department of Delaware.
So that's the California group going by.
Jenny Havel.
This is California, a one-person stag.
Lisa McCarley.
Good to see you. Santa Monica, Santa Clara represented. And they've got a candidate for National Commander of the Sons in a year. And we had a chance to we'll visit with shortly and talk to one of their representatives. So what a perfect day. Not too hot, sunny. We got a shady spot here.
South Carolina.
And we got the delegation from South Carolina coming on. So our audience is building. Good to hear from Pat and Mohawk units at 1450. And again, pass this along to your friends who might be interested. See if we can build the audience a little bit. This is fun. This is better. We did all the sessions Saturday and Sunday. This is the Delaware group.
South Carolina's motto is, "While I breathe, I hope." 19,500 strong Legionnaires, 3,800 auxiliary members, and 1,100 SAL members. Our department motto is 100 years long, 100 years.
And Department of Delaware, detachment. Auxiliary members in their red shirts today. How you doing? And That's a little different. They had kind of butterfly outfits on today, and an umbrella. That makes a difference. Got to get sun protection. Now we've got South Carolina coming up. We had a false start. They got a big flag out in front.
Sunshine State.
We'll get a photo. We're doing dual duty here. Get them in the sun. So this is fun. South Carolina, where our friend General Robert Caslin just took over as the president of the University of South Carolina. We all became South Carolina football fans when that happened. So more people. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Great to see everybody from South Carolina. And Ridge Springs, South Carolina represented. A couple of people there. There's a Suns member with his light blue cap with the yellow top indicating that he is a state official. And we've got American Legion vehicle, Department of South Carolina. Well, they had a drive here. And Florida, how about that? Florida, wearing their orange shirts. How about that? Can't miss the folks from Florida. How you doing? How you doing? Lake City, Bunnell, Florida, Seminole, Dundee, Claremont, Fort Walton Beach,
Dakota, home of American Legion baseball.
And
Badlands National
lots of
Mount Rushmore National Monument. Department
Winter Haven represented. Now the auxiliary. Everybody's got their orange festive shirts on. They look good.
Go Department of South Dakota.
And got our friends in the Suns. There's our Suns group. Good to see you. And again, pass this along. We only got a couple of people watching. This is a fun broadcast. And so we'll be out here a couple hours. In fact, I got to remember to make sure I got the batteries going. Let me take a quick break on video, but on audio, but watch and enjoy.
The Department of Oklahoma proudly presents our delegation, led by Jimmy Chee. Our NEC is Mr. Timothy Smith. Our auxiliary is led by Nancy O'Leary. And Mr. Sam McPherson is our SAL leader. From the Sooner State, Boomer Sooner.
That's awesome. We're out. Hey, any more? One more. We'll share right now.
Okay. Yeah, right. And Oklahoma. We were just out in Oklahoma last year with Army football. Saw him play the Sooners. I also went to visit Fort Sill, which was a great place. My father commissioned at Fort Sill in 1942, as did his brother. And very hospitable to us visiting. And actually, the Oklahoma University marching band spelled Army on the field before the game. It was really neat. And then at halftime, they honored the 100th anniversary of Army ROTC there at Oklahoma. The building's right next to the football stadium, which was recently refurbished. And that was a game that Oklahoma fans will remember. Probably are trying to forget that it was 21-all with a minute to go, and Army had the ball on the 25-yard line. And a couple of big defensive plays by Oklahoma, and a 3rd down and 14 interception after they hit the Army quarterback, Hill Hopkins. Ball popped up, quad, run back. And the game still went in overtime when Oklahoma missed a field goal attempt. Then Kyler Murray did his magic, and Oklahoma won that game in overtime. Last game, Army lost all year. They went 11-2. So great to see the folks from Oklahoma. That was a good trip. Everybody was really very nice to us when we visited. So we got our friends from Connecticut from close to back home.
Please give a warm round of applause to members of the American Legion family from the Department of Colorado.
And support our troops from Connecticut. Nice set of flags, banners, and flags. Southington, Connecticut represented. And the auxiliary in their, I don't know if we call them pink or scarlet shirts. So our audience is building. Good to hear from Ted Armburst is watching. Peter J. DeAngelis. Great, thank you for watching. And again, this is a program of Sons of the American Legion Radio. And we are on WVOX 1460 AM every Monday at 2:30. That's 1460, WVOX.com. And we simulcast on Sons of the American Legion Radio on Facebook. Now we got Colorado coming down. I don't know. And we'll be on Colorado for the Army Air Force game first Saturday in November. That's going to be a big one. I hear Air Force has got a very good football team, and they want their trophy back. As they say, the Commander-in-Chief trophy won by Army the past 2 years. Salute that, callers. Family on Colorado Springs. Good to see everybody. Of course, Colorado Springs is a big Army town, as well as a big home of the Air Force Academy. A lot of military in the area. A lot of Air Force, obviously. Even the Navy, we found out Navy's got a base in, or maybe a research center. We were down in Norfolk a couple of weeks ago. One of the speakers at an event had been a commander of a destroyer, and now he's an admiral running a research division in Colorado, Admiral Fuller. So, another next group coming up. I don't know if they got a banner. Sounds like we got Tennessee. They said volunteer state.
It's led by Department.
And let's see if we can read this.
Department Auxiliary President Cassie.
Virginia. Yeah, Virginia. They didn't get a note from the PA speaker. We're going to have to hold things down. It's getting a little breezy here. Sorry about that. Folks from Virginia, they are the host home of our new Sons of the American Legion National Commander. That is Clint Bolt, who was elected and installed today at the National Convention of the Sons of the American Legion. Now here comes Tennessee. Army football will be down in Tennessee in a couple of years to play the Volunteers in front of their big crowd. I think they have 100,000 people at their stadium. Army will be out of Michigan, second game of the week. We, of course, will be at Mikey Stadium on Friday night for the opener. Army will take on Rice. And Army's a favorite. They're not used to being a favorite, but they are now under Jeff Monken.
Now approaching
Salute the colors of
school that's
Tennessee.
near and dear to my heart. It's Christmas Addicts High School.
And good to see everybody from Tennessee. Maryland coming next.
Christmas Addicts is home
Yeah, so we'll be at Mikey Stadium. Follow us on our West Point Football Report page on Facebook, West Point Football Report. Also on Twitter, Suns Legion Radio. So the group from Maryland going by. Thanks everybody for watching. If you can pass it along to anybody in the Suns or the Legion who might be interested, certainly appreciate that.
Serving nearly 91,000 members in Ohio.
But we're in downtown Indianapolis right now. I'm just going to take a quick break for a second.
In over 500 high schools, 18 American Indian government test winners accompanied by adult chaperones representing the Legion Auxiliary travel to Gettysburg and worship with the Inside Tour. Ohio sponsors Boy Scout programs. We have the Buckeye Boy Scouts, 140 Legion sponsor scouting groups. Second for Memorial Day, we decorate the graves in the national cemeteries. The Buckeye delegation is led by Delegation Chairman Robert Schmidt, Department Commander Roger Friend, National Executive Committeeman Robert Klostermeyer, Department Adjutant Susan Heller. The delegation of the American Legion Department of Ohio Auxiliary, Department Chairman Kathy Hinkle, Department President and Nancy Shirley Mauer, Department Secretary Kelly Gibson. Ohio is proud of the American Legion Auxiliary for the many successful programs. Ohio Sons of the American Legion number over 30,000 members. The delegation led by Delegation Chairman Dale Anderson, National Executive Committeeman Bill Sutherland, and Detachment Adjutant Scott Gordon.
And you can tell it's a group from Ohio. Great to see them. Again, we had a great day out with Army football out at Ohio State a year ago. Actually, 2 years ago now. It's a great trip. We actually stopped in Pittsburgh on our drive out there and met Alejandro Villanueva, the Steelers, did an interview. Then went out to the game. Well over 100,000 at the game, and they spelled out Army on the field too before their game, before the game there. And very, very neat and orderly place to go watch a college football game, Ohio Stadium. Beautifully refurbished. Salute the flag of colors of Ohio. Great to see everybody. And we've got the Suns delegation in their light blue. Salute their colors. Poland, Ohio. Great to see everybody. And so we had a great trip into Ohio Stadium. All the folks out there were very nice to us when we were there 2 years ago. Game was tight going into the third quarter, and then Ohio made some big plays. And Ohio won that game. It's just amazing, the intensity and the atmosphere there. The marching band, watching them do the script Ohio was amazing. How you doing? And that you know, one of the things that we get to see a lot of marching bands, but the marching band from the University of Ohio was amazing. When they did the script Ohio, there just isn't anything else that I've seen like it. And they spelled out Army on the field, and I guess it's, you know, in all the games, when you go to West Point, the West Point band goes out on the field, and the first thing they do, they sing the Army's, the West Point fight song, and then they will play a greeting to the visitor, and they find an appropriate song to honor the visit. And what a nice gesture that always is. We see that a lot in college football. One time, a few years ago, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, last home game, senior day for Army, was against Rutgers. Rutgers won. Army was rebuilding. And after the alma mater, the Rutgers band played When the Army Goes Rolling Along. And what a nice gesture. I mean, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, I always remember that. What a nice gesture by the Rutgers marching band to go into an opposing stadium and play when the Army goes rolling along.
Ready for our next 100 years.
Nothing like brave old Army team, though, when the West Point band plays or the Cadet band plays. Well, we're looking forward to season. We want to be part of our coverage. Certainly watch us. Sign up for West Point Football Report. We had 1.8 million page views on that last year. And we've got another car. Looks like Arizona coming down the street.
The best naval server in the land. Commander
Salute the Arizona colors.
Commander Ron LaRose, NEC woman Marty Lemna, Auxiliary President Aaron Negrina, NEC woman Priscilla Felicity, Sons of American Legion Commander Steve England, NEC man John Wayne.
Slipper State, arrived this day from the Spanish Union Aid for the 36th state. Our state economics wealth comes from industries which include technology, mining, ranching, tourism, and of course gaming. Are you correct?
No, it's only 115.
This is Ron Mahalski.
That's okay, because why? It's a dry heat.
And so is
Just like an oven.
Just like an oven. NEC is Joe Kaiser. Our auxiliary president is Courtney A. Burns, and our NEC for the auxiliary is Glennis Seeley.
Welcome to wild, wonderful West by God, Virginia. Leading our delegation, past National Vice Commander Jim Davis is our mountaineer. In the delegation, Department Commander Barbara Burdett, Auxiliary President Rhonda Vest, incoming Department President Sharon Kaufman. West Virginia, the home of Miles Zeppelin, National Vice Commander. Also the home of Marshall University Thundering Herd and the West Virginia University Mountaineers. Come to West Virginia, you'll never want to leave. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR, the capital of college basketball, the Tar Heel State, a bastion of freedom, is the proud home of Fort Bragg, Camp Lejeune, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, Marine Corps Air Stations Cherry Point and New River, forming the point of the spear in our nation's defenses. In the foothills of the state, the city of Shelby in beautiful Cleveland County is the home of the American Baseball World Series. North Carolina is the home of leading candidate for National Commander James Bill Oxford, past National Historian Larry Rozier, and past National Chaplain Randy Cash. From the historic Outer Banks to the scenic Smoky Mountains, we are proud to call North Carolina home. Okay, we were on Twitter for a moment.
Again, if you're watching, appreciate it. If you can pass us, and if you join us, tell us where you're listening from. See John Router from the American Legion office. Shadows are getting a little bit bigger. We may have to move our position a little bit down the street just a tad, so we're not quite in the sun as much. Let's see if we can do this without dropping anything. How's that? A little closer to the action. How are you, sir? Where are you from?
From Seneca Falls, or Waterloo, New York.
Waterloo, New York. We're from New York, from White Plains, Waterloo upstate. Where is that near?
Waterloo is right between Rochester and Syracuse. We're right in the middle.
Hey, that's great. Good to see you. We were up there for the state convention. We were up there for a basketball tournament in Syracuse not long ago. Good to... Oh, that's great. What, were you in the military?
Yes, I was in the Navy.
That's great. Thank you for your service. We were just down in Norfolk.
Very good. That's where I was stationed out of.
Okay, were you on a ship?
Yes. I was on the USS Arnhem.
What kind of ship was that?
It was troop transport.
Very good. Thank you for your service. Good to see you. And looks like we got a special delegation band. I'll be right back.
Deborah Williamson, Sons of the American Legion Department Commander Gary Lemunion, and SAL National Executive Committeeman Mike Faulkner.
Hope you enjoy this coverage by Sons of American Legion Radio. Here are the band going by. Marty's Golden Airs from Michigan. I was singing the Orange Bowl and I hear that song. Marty's Golden Airs. And the delegation from Michigan. We will be there 2 weeks. Watch out for Army. We will be there at Michigan Stadium in 2 weeks for Army versus Michigan. Hey, we got to go, Army. We're out there in 2 weeks. Good to see you. Our friends from the Sons of the American Legion. Yeah, we will be at Michigan Stadium in a week from Saturday. Army in Michigan. Some people think it's Army. It's the only thing that's going to separate Army from an undefeated season. I'm not that optimistic. I think it's going to be a good game. But I'll tell you, Michigan's not going to get surprised. They said they've been practicing Army's option offense since all through spring practice. And it's going to be quite an experience. 110,000 people, that football game in 10 days. And if we ask Chef Monken, he'll say all he's worried about is that game on Friday night against Rice, home opener. And then he'll worry about Michigan, but I'll tell you, he's been thinking about Michigan all off season. Auxiliary from Michigan. Great to see everybody. So this is really fun to be out here. We've done some work with the New York St. Patrick's Day Committee and that parade, that amazing 250 plus year tradition. A lot of crossover, a lot of American Legion bands participate in that one. Another band with their white helmets. Let's hear those drummers from Harbor Springs, Michigan. And we are here in downtown Indianapolis, right across from the Indiana War Memorial, being refurbished. Got scaffolding around it today. And we've got a group right in front of the reviewing stand. And we got Georgia State Patrol. Georgia State Patrol, Department of Georgia. We'll be down in Atlanta, Army football versus Georgia State in October. Beaufort, Georgia. Got a parade chairman first at Beaufort, Georgia is well represented. A couple hats of Grange. Good to see you. Peachtree City, Georgia. American Legion Auxiliary from Georgia coming up. They got their march going. How you doing, ladies? How you doing? Like your hat. And got our sons group from Georgia.
Being led by
good to see him.
Lobster person. Monroe is known for lobster, blueberries.
And we got a couple of vehicles. Boy, they came up in force.
Rogers and Anthony Tony Jordan. Legion family leadership this past year. Scott Perry, commander.
A couple of their vehicles maybe took some of the LaGrange, Georgia. Good to see everybody.
The youngest department commander in the nation.
Post 127, Beaufort, Georgia. How you doing, folks?
President
Okay.
Ron Marcel, commander.
Rockdale County, Conyers, Georgia.
Artillery Secretary.
Again, Army's going to be down there middle of October. A lot of Army football players. Just sent out an interview today on Kel Walker, the senior running back. Really big playmaker. We're hoping Kel is going to be healthy and has a really big year with his fellow senior Kelvin Hopkins, the quarterback. There are some Army has got to break in some new fullbacks this year. They graduated 3, including Darnell Wolfolk, who is just tremendous. 47 touchdowns for Army. Always made when Army needed a 4th and 1 conversion, he was the guy who got the ball. Everybody knew he was going to get the ball, but he still got the first down. Here we have Maine with those lobsters.
Rossett, a member of the Calgary, Alberta CN Post.
Salute their colors. Good to see everybody from Maine. And
John is 93 years old and served in World War II. The Montana American Legion Department has 100% consolidated post.
Again, if you're watching, let us know. Love to get a comment or two. And pass it along on your network if you can, so others can enjoy watching the American Legion National Convention Parade from downtown Indianapolis.
The great state of Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes.
Well, we got Montana.
Northern and Muskies comes a great state of Lake Minnesota led by Department Commander Darrell Redham.
Big Sky Country of Montana.
Incoming Commander Mark DeHorek and Department officers.
Salute their colors.
That vehicle is supposed to be Dan Lud. There he is in the red shirt. Dan Ludwig past that.
And they've got bright red shirts on today.
Auxiliary President.
From Helena, Montana, we see. Dawsonville, Georgia, what different state.
President Mary Hendrickson.
Some of the auxiliary members. Good to see you, ladies.
Commander Sean Davis. Sean, there he goes. There's an arm coming up. And Dave Falcon is our new commander coming in. And ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing after 35 years, the American flags of the American Legion delegation of Minnesota.
And here we go, the auxiliary. They're celebrating their 100th anniversary this year.
Led by reigning national champion color guard from post 472 in Harrisburg, Texas.
And boy, look at this field of flags.
Department of Texas.
From Minnesota, all the auxiliary carrying flags, some of their friends, Friendly, Minnesota. And Adams, Minnesota, we see. 4th District Sons, good to see you. Argyle, Minnesota. Hutchinson, Minnesota, we see. And now we got Texas, Lone Star State. Good, good. Oh, get around. It's good. It's fun. You guys look good. Like your hat.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
How you doing? How you doing? Our friend from the Armed Forces Bowl. Good to see you. Great. You guys look good. Hey, we're back. 3 weeks. The Army's playing in San Antonio. Yeah, maybe call me. We'll talk about have you help us out. Good to see you. Army just down in Fort Worth last year, blew out, defeated the University of Houston that day, 70-14, big win for Army. Some Sons there, Cranberry, Caryville, and some of the auxiliary from Texas. How you doing, ladies?
The Wings Army Navy.
What's that?
Wings Army Navy.
Army Navy will be second Saturday of December.
All right, okay.
You think Navy's got a better chance this year?
They got to do better than last year.
They lost a close game to Army last year.
Yeah, well, they let Army have one for a change.
Yeah, well, 3 in a row. So Army's on the new streak, but what a great competition. We just talked to Navy coach Ken Kraetzer on our radio show last week. What a fine guy he is. And we enjoy talking to the midshipmen.
Good. That's good to hear.
They are terrific. You know, a lot of the midshipmen on the Navy football team branch Marine Corps. And they all say it's, and that's the same thing the Army guys say, being in the Marines, being in the Army, leading troops, leading Marines, closest thing to being on a football team.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a Marine, but I've been football, so.
Well, there are a lot of a lot of players on Navy go into ships and submarines even.
Yes, they do.
And we got the Department of Kentucky. It's like everybody Army's playing this year has been the front half of the parade. We will be down. They'll be down at Western Kentucky in October. That's going to be a tough game for the Black Knights. Good to see everybody. Of course, Kentucky, a huge state for horse racing and college basketball. Another one of our favorite subjects is the Sons of the American Legion, covering Army basketball. Also Iona. And we went out to the NCAA tournament with Iona this spring. And they were leading North Carolina at the half by 5. And so it's a lot of fun. And a great chance to, again, bring attention to veterans, the needs of veterans, honoring veterans. Every time we go out on the road with Army football, it is Veterans Appreciation Day. And lots of displays, lots of veterans come out, a lot of veterans tributes. And the state commander of Kentucky. Good to see. Now that's got to be Wisconsin. I hear on Wisconsin. How you doing? We saw Wisconsin down at Yankee Stadium for the Pinstripe Bowl in December. Had a lot of fun. We're up to 10. Please let us know where you're watching from. And maybe send it out to your friends. Let more people know that we've got a nice video going of the American Legion National Convention Parade, a long-standing tradition of the American Legion. And not to be disappointed, Wisconsin, we saw their marching band. What a nice job their marching band did at Yankee Stadium last December. They beat the University of Miami, but the band played the music of Jersey Boys at halftime. What a nice job they did with that. We have it on our YouTube page, or my YouTube page, Ken Kraetzer, American Legion Band from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Post 91, is it? Let's hear the song. Well, I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce it. Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. And there's their banner and some of their delegations. They got a couple of vehicles.
Also coming in, we have Department Commander Jody Krajcek, Department Vice Commander Tony Diaz, Sandra Key,
and our sons from Wisconsin. Good to see you, gentlemen. See if we can get something out on Twitter. As we are live from the...
In this vehicle, we also have our World War II oldest veteran, Gerald Jerry Messier, 91 years old.
And we've got another delegation coming up, their colors. Massachusetts. Should know that. Got some pilgrims and some World War I reenactors.
We have in here the National Executive Committeeman Felix Trujillo, alternate National Executive Committeeman Paul Espinoza, candidate from New Mexico for National Commander, Adjutant Tony Navarrete, and Freight Chairman Robert Rodriguez. And we also have the past National President Rita Navarrete, Western Division Vice President Janet Romero, National Executive Committee Lady Liz Foster, Convention Chairman Teresa Montoya, and the Department President from Roy is Dorothy Hazen.
Okay, the great state of North Dakota. North Dakota is a peace garden state because it's a unique botanic garden that spans the North Dakota-Canadian border in the Turtle Mountains. The state flower is a prairie rose shown on the banner and on the front of the North Dakota Legion cap. The department has 211 American Legion posts with a membership of nearly 13,000.
Got New Mexico coming up. Parade's moving along nicely.
Representing the three affiliated tribes of North Dakota are the veterans of Post 271 of Referee. The North Dakota State.
We have a new SAL hashtag you may check out, SAL Power. SAL Strong, excuse me, SAL Strong. That our friends from California came up with.
The great state of North Dakota.
And more folks from New Mexico. We got North Dakota coming in. Mandaree, North Dakota, post 271. There are a number of posts in New York State and around the country that are composed of Native Americans. And always great to see them out here. Now we got a nice band from North Dakota. Boy, do they sound good. Let's hear the band from North Dakota. North Dakota State Band. Young Hawk Bear, White Shield, North Dakota. Good to see them. Mandaree, North Dakota. And another delegation. I think that's a North Dakota delegation. More of them. Yeah, Newtown, North Dakota. Good to see you. Good to see you. Absolutely. Boy, Jeff Munkin from Army said when he went out to North Dakota State for a playoff game, it was the loudest place he ever went to. Department of North Dakota. Arkansas. Home of University of Arkansas. Great football team, the Razorbacks. Arkansas State's been in to play West Point a couple of times. I'm probably the only announcer who broadcasts a parade from the perspective of college football. I have to get our friend Mark Packard in. Now I got, Arkansas. Some of the vehicles. See how many trucks people drive to bring equipment, bring people that from perhaps it's hard to fly. Honor Guard from Heber Springs, Arkansas. Good to see them. We have some folks doing a little video up there. Detachment of Arkansas. Good to see them. They're doing some video from their truck. We the people. In God we trust. And they've got their rigs. Always interesting to compare equipment. And they got some cameras on the roof of their truck, and they're broadcasting from a pickup. That's unique. Got a little bit of a break here. Again, we are so pleased to be here. And it's our first trip to Indianapolis, first trip to the American Legion National Convention, so it's a real learning experience. But you meet incredibly dedicated people who served in the U.S. military or were family members of people who served, sons, and everyone is dedicated to serving America's veterans and serving America's military members. And here we got the New York delegation. We're going to be doing a simulcast on some video. And we've got the Tonawanda Band coming up.
Vince Viola, past National Vice Commander, James W. Casey.
And as soon as they come out of...
Gary Shacker, our most junior past Department Commander. Past National Chaplain, Father Sweeney, Department National Executive Committee.
And the American Legion Band of the Tonawandas leads the New York State delegation, Department of New York Detachment. And they won a competition yesterday here amongst the bands. And we have a little video. If you go to on Facebook, well, on this page, Detachment of New York, Tonawanda's New York Band. Oh, they've got a nice sound, but they are 6 across, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they got about 66, 65 in their group. And I've got the New York group. There's our state commander, Commander Mike. And I've got a color guard, state color guard.
And the most junior. All right.
There's Jim Casey, Jim Trionis. Good to see you, Commander. Father Sweeney. And Riverhead, New York. Kenneonga. Monroe County, not New York. Niagara County. 4th District. Pulaski, New York. Hamburg. Broad Channel. Long Island. Amsterdam, New York.
Over 90 years.
And now we've got the auxiliary. Auxiliary celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. Do amazing work taking care of veterans, taking care of today's military. Good to see everybody. American Legion Auxiliary celebrating their 100th anniversary from New York State. And now we've got our group, the Sons, coming up with a Phelps, New York, from Ontario County Color Guard.
When you see the walking cornfield, you know it is the Department of Iowa. The delegation is being led tonight by the National Executive Commander, Jerry Stevens, alternate MC, Minnesota, followed by our delegation.
And Got our department leadership, some of our past commanders, and our current commander, Doc Gibbs, our national commander. It's the first time we call the past Bob Avery. First time we call Doc a past commander. He was held the office until today, and we have a new commander who was elected and installed for 2019-20. That is Clint Bolt. I got another American Legion band. And see if I can get where these guys are from. Yeah, it's the Yankee Doodle Band from Rensselaer. Good to see them. Yankee Doodle Band, Rensselaer, New York. Following up with a car. Clayton. Yeah, we got a rev from that motorcycle from Clayton, New York. And that's a New York State delegation. Very proud to be with them, be invited to come out here. And a group from Iowa. Good to see them. And they got their corn stalks. Wow, they brought corn stalks. Got a friend from the Suns. And got a nice color guard. Salute their colors. I would say only an American Legion parade does the delegation carry corn stalks.
Iowa, we're from Iowa, the best corn.
Here we go, all the way.
How are the Hawkeyes this year? Here we got a Suns. See ya. We got a float honoring the Tomb of the Unknowns with a sentry.
The Department of Illinois escorted
Department of Illinois coming in.
Trooper Williams, accompanied by retired Master Sergeant from Illinois State Police John Robuski and his wife Luella, a past Department Auxiliary President. Illinois is a true American Legion family, led this year by State Commander Michael Carter, Department Auxiliary President Deb Lewis, and SAL Detachment Commander Eugene Gord. Illinois is home of Schumann Commander, past National President of American Legion Auxiliary, and past National Commander of American Legion Marty Commander. Illinois is proud to be the originator of Premier Boy State, holding the first program in 1936. American Legion Auxiliary Illini Girl State is on target and continues to be very strong.
So again, we're glad to be here downtown Indianapolis for today's American Legion National Convention Parade. Now we got a very loud band. Sound good. Stars and Stripes forever. Look at where they're from.
Very strong.
From just outside Chicago, Joliet, Illinois. Good looking band, very loud. They got about 50 members out there performing. Made the trip. Well, Chicago Bears were here last night. Played the Indianapolis Colts next door at Lucas Oil Stadium. And again, happy 100th anniversary to the American Legion. This has been the American Legion's 100th anniversary, formed in 1919, right at the end of World War I, take care of America's World War I veterans. A lot of foresight that America's veterans would need help when they came back from World War I. Hundreds of thousands who served overseas, liberating France, would need health care, would need education opportunities. And from the American Legion's pen, the Department of Veterans Affairs was formed. GI Bill was formed right after the end of World War II. And so many recent initiatives, such as the new GI Bill, which is helping thousands, only hundreds of thousands of post 9/11 veterans advance their education. Department of Illinois. Naperville, Illinois. Past National Commander over there. Champaign, Illinois, 2nd District. How's everybody? Naperville, north of Chicago. Some of the guys in the Suns. Good to see them. And we got Morton Grove, Illinois. He's got a float. And a lot of veterans on that. Post 134, Morton Grove, Illinois. Good to see you. Thank you for your service.
Commander Joe Frank, leading the Department of Missouri delegates, our delegation chairman.
Department of Illinois.
Commander Gary Borgman, Department Commander Hallie Williams, Department Adjutant Lori Finley Jackson, Department NEC man Kenny Goff. Color Guard.
Again, thanks for watching. The American Legion National Convention Parade, long-standing tradition here in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana. Great to see everybody. What a tradition this is, and an excitement for the people who participate, people who watch. A lot of pride, a lot of very proud bands. Have to do a lot of fundraising to be able to offset the cost of a trip like this. A lot of practice so that they can perform at the level that they can. And we've seen today, we saw a band of Tonawanda won the national competition. We saw the Yankee Doodle Band from New York, and some great ones from around the country. Department of Illinois. Missouri. The Show Me State.
Department of Pennsylvania, largest department in the American Legion. The first
and we've got the Missouri colors.
Was from the Department of Pennsylvania. Also honoring us, we have Dominic DeFrancisco as past national commander.
And Missouri, 1st District, Jefferson City. St. Louis cap there. We're starting to run out of, well, we're okay. We got a nice spot to watch the parade with the reviewing stand in the background. We are just under the Indiana War Memorial, World War Memorial, being remodeled, resurfaced, scaffolding around the top of the building. And Department of Pennsylvania. And they got their cheer. We are from Pennsylvania.
Home of Microsoft, Costco, and past national president Mary Davis. With us today, we have Department Commander Bob Clark, Adjutant Jesse Horton, NEC Ken Lee, Alden NEC Dale Davis.
Pennsylvania. Boy, I think that gentleman did it professionally. Of course, 2 former Army football players playing in Pennsylvania now. Colors of the Suns going by. And good to see them. Alejandro Villanueva, the left tackle on the Steelers. And Brett Toth just signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. He is a 2018 graduate of West Point. If you remember, he made the devastating block in the Armed Forces Bowl win over San Diego State. Army's scores a late touchdown to be 1 point behind. They could have kicked an extra point to tie. Jeff Munkin said they're going for 2. And they ran right behind their big right tackle, Brett Toth.
And his staff, auxiliary delegation.
And we were at the White House this year in May. Got State of Washington. Their colors, big Navy town and big Army area of the state of Washington. But we're at the White House for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy to be given to the Army football team. President Trump stopped his prepared remarks, and he turned around to Jeff Munkin and said, "Coach, we're going to get a waiver so your players can play in the NFL and then serve later." Well, the first beneficiary of that is Brett Toth. Very good guy, a physics major at West Point. Physics major, think about that. How many Division I guys are physics majors? Well, you got him at West Point, you got him at Annapolis, you got him at the Air Force Academy. That's why Armed Forces sports, Armed Forces football is so special. Some say it's the easiest part of their day going to football practice. Well, they make it pretty tough, but they've gone through a rigorous day of military preparation, just making sure their uniform looks exactly right. They get their uniform inspection every morning, and then go to classes, and then start football practice, have a couple hours to study, and then do it all over again. And then, on Saturday, play the likes of Notre Dame if you're Navy, or Air Force playing Boise State, and Army's got Michigan this year. Okay, New Jersey, right by home. Salute their colors. And so folks in New Jersey, they're light blue shirts on, a lot of white caps, indicating they are state officials or Mercer County, and a big delegation auxiliary. And there are the Suns.
Executive Committee man is Bill Crozier.
Good to see our Suns delegation, Sons of the American Legion out.
Additionally, our auxiliary president is Elizabeth.
Glad to see you got Mary Snow watching. Thank you. Anyone joins the broadcast, that's great. And maybe share it with your friends so they can enjoy. This is really fun. It was a little hard to find where the reviewing stand was going to be. And we had a really busy day this morning at the Suns meetings. We had a very poignant memorial service where the hundreds of, maybe 500 names were listed on a moving screen who had passed away this past year. Very moving to watch that list. And when it came to New York, we saw familiar names. And then we had the election of the new vice commanders, nomination elections. And then we had the election of Clint Bolt to be the new national commander and 5 new vice commanders. Then we had installation in the afternoon. Nebraska coming up. Very full day. And he went to Mass in between.
First band performance in almost 40.
Beautiful church just about a mile away. Nebraska. A lot of friends in Omaha. Of course, the home of the Cornhuskers. I don't know if our Army used to play Nebraska back in the Yankee Stadium day. I think they played at Yankee Stadium one time. Of course, Nebraska moved to the Big Ten. All the relationships changed. We were in Oklahoma last year. You know, a game came down to the minute to go. Army's got the ball. 3rd down. Oklahoma's got to stop Army from having a short field goal. And I've never seen 88,000 people on their feet like that day. And I always said it was the sound they make when they used to play Nebraska. Great trip. Great folks out at Oklahoma. Really enjoyed our visit. Hope we go back again someday.
Outgoing Commander Ricky Griffin
incoming Commander Byron Coleman.
Okay, we got the American Legion, Kenner, post 377. Band, they're just coming out of the shadow now.
Alternate National Executive Committee.
You know, I'm just going to move up our position again, and
Mary Carter.
I think we can do this. Let's get a little closer to the action. And the Kenner Band has stopped in front of the viewing stand to play when the Saints go marching in. Great to hear. Good job. And so we're having some fun out here watching the American Legion National Convention Parade. And hope you're watching it. Let's see, we got Patricia watching now. How are you? Babylon, Unit 94, New York. Our pleasure. Pass this along to your friends in Babylon so that they can watch this great representation of the American Legion. This is a good band. Kenner, post 377 band. Kenner, Nebraska. Listen to these guys. Okay, that was a terrific sound those guys make. About 25, 28 musicians in that. Boy, they know, they are good. Well, the American Legion bands are a great way for musicians to continue to perform, do marching bands. How you doing, Department of Louisiana? One of the forecasts has Army playing in Shreveport on December 26th. In the bowl game there, Army played there about 25 years ago. That was about their last bowl game for about 20 years, till the 2010 game. This is just like Americana at its best. And Louisiana, folks throwing some beads out. Just down in Louisiana in May for a convention. Wonderful visit there. Fine restaurants we went out to in the evening. Jazz clubs. And Uncle who worked in Louisiana, Roy Kelly, West Point graduate. Army Corps of Engineers. Worked for the department, the Port of New Orleans about 30 years ago. Buried at Arlington National Cemetery with my Aunt Catherine, his wife. One of my, I think it is 7 aunts and uncles who were World War II veterans. But they always talked about how much fun Mardi Gras was. They, you know, it's a month or so of parades, or a wonderful festival. They said it was a lot of fun.
Okay, we got Kansas coming aboard. Kansas, the home of Bob Dole, General Dwight David Eisenhower. The Sunflower State. We're celebrating.
Well, guys, go out and get one. Go get your beads. No, you're scared. Little girl here is going to go up to the truck and get her beads. Oh, that's great. Good job. Department of Louisiana, let the good times roll is their motto. And maybe Army football will be down there in December. Do that as the colors pass by. Got a Suns helping carry a banner. Good to see you. Of course, Louisiana State's a powerhouse, the Southeast Conference. American Legion Band of Greater Kansas City. Sounds like we've got. And they have make sure we get the idea. They're a good band. Kansas City American Legion Band. They've been out. Maybe I got to the starting line a little late, but they're good. Well, they're leading the Kansas delegation. Could be Kansas City, Kansas. That's right. Nice banner. Jayhawk Country, good to see you. Our basketball friends, Iona, played out at Kansas a couple of years ago. Former president of Iona, Dr. Nyer, was a University of Kansas graduate student. One of his stops in graduate school.
The colors, flag of Rhode Island.
There's a couple of sons, Greenleaf, Kansas. Great to see everybody. One of our friends in the Suns worked at the junior college tournament that was a huge success, a junior college tournament. One of our friends just passed away, sadly. And a school near us in Monroe College in New Rochelle, New York, played in that tournament a couple of years ago. And it's just a wonderful tournament that the hosts organized for the Junior College Championship. Got a big truck. It's got the old Army computer generated camouflage. Thank you, veterans, for your service. I always like that. Flag on the back. Department of Rhode Island, we know them. We had a chance to do an interview with Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island this spring.
And the Southern Vice Commander, Steve Sugar Sweet.
And one of my home away from home, Rhode Island. It's a Providence College graduate.
President Tina Hurd.
Thanks, Betty. Thanks for watching. From Groton, New York, Unit 800. Good to see the folks from Rhode Island.
Deborah, and our secretary.
Good to see you.
Angie Duncan. And
Department Commander. How you doing?
Y'all come here.
Go Friars.
Department of Oregon. Their colors coming up. Of course, home of the Oregon Ducks. We haven't seen them. I don't think our Army's gone out there in a while. But my dad in World War II, after he commissioned, was sent to Oregon to help start a new infantry division called the 91st. So he commissioned at Fort Sill in October 1942 and went home, got married, and he and my mother went out to Oregon soon after to start that infantry unit, later sent to Italy.
Led by a flag
Mississippi.
DC Post 2.
Good to see Mississippi here in the parade.
First all-woman post.
Hey, Terry Harris, thank you, very welcome. Pass along to all your friends in Kansas so they can see you. Mississippi, Kathy Dungan.
Commander Dornetta Porter.
It's a national president this past year. You did a great job. Good to see you. See you. And great to see you. We're noticed by the folks from the department, a detachment of Kansas. So we'll try and put this out. It's on Variety and Media. See if we can get the sound onto YouTube.
Representing the Mooresville High School Band.
And Department of Mississippi. Good to see you folks. Mississippi Stars in Indy. That's why Indianapolis, part of the country, is a good place for a convention because people can drive here from about 2/3. They just can't drive from California. Some people do. The motorcycle guys and women will ride from almost anywhere. Washington, D.C., our nation's capital.
Representing more than 160,000.
I think I'm in Washington in 2 weeks for our meeting.
Here in the great state of Indiana. We are celebrating 100 years of service, working together.
District of Columbia.
Within our Hoosier veterans.
And look at this group of flag twirlers. Very bright in their multicolored orange, gold, and red uniforms and flags. Very nice.
Jimmy Martin. We are extremely proud.
And great to see them. I have to see where they're from. They don't have a banner, but they have beautiful uniforms and yellow, gold, orange, and red flags. Very nice, ladies. They're enjoying being out here on a perfect, you can't have a better day. I mean, it's probably 75, 78 degrees, sunny. We're in the shade. Good crowd along the side. Very festive atmosphere for this parade. Let's see if we can get another band. Got to put your ID on your drums so we can tell who you are. And this is Chesty Puller, United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, Chesty Puller, United States Marine Corps. The Devil Dogs. Thank you for your service. Marine Corps League. Great group. Boy, that toy drive they do at Christmas is amazing. The amount of donations we're able to generate. So look up their website. They run a lot of events. Invite them if you have a Christmas company event, what have you, a trade event. They'll come out to it, the Marine Corps League. Toys for Tots at Christmas time is a big deal. It's a great program. Indiana, a home team. Great hosts. Great hosts for everybody. Department of Indiana, Commander Alan Connolly. We change lives, help everybody. Look at that veteran holding the flag banner. Thank you for your service. Good to see everybody from Indiana. Great hosts. District 8, Department of Indiana. Hoosier State.
The ladies of the auxiliary of the Department of Indiana.
Good to see you. From Indianapolis.
Post 249.
Post 249, Indianapolis. That's great. Okay. They're having a good time. And a gentleman from Speedway, Indiana. And he's got a group that is going to join them for the rest of the parade. And a big group. Well, they're the home team, Department of Indiana, American Legion Auxiliary.
Following the auxiliary.
Anyway, thanks for watching. It's a production of Sons of the American Legion Radio. We are based at Post 135. How you doing, ladies? But we are at Post 135. We got some twirlers here. Look at that. Oh, as soon as she looked at the camera, she dropped her baton. Very nice. Probably been doing that. Vicky Coots, American Legion Auxiliary National President. It's our former national commander. And they got their checkered flags from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, not far from here. Hoping to maybe go see that on this trip. And we have got the Suns from Indiana. They have broken out the untucked look. Their white shirts. And great to see our friends from Indiana.
That concludes this year's National Convention Parade. I hope everyone had
Well, good to see you.
right there at the American Legion Hall. So please stop by. There's some refreshments.
Eberly, American Legion, American Auxiliary host, Unit 351. And we're about wrapping up the production. But again, we're a production of Sons of the American Legion Radio, based at American Legion Post 135 in downtown White Plains, New York. And always like to thank our sponsors, the Detachment of New York, the American Legion Press Association of New York, Wayne Post 64 in Indianapolis. The New York Yankees, they've been a big sponsor of us. Boy, they got a pennant drive and hopefully a long October, maybe even in November this year. Our best wishes to the marketing team there, Debbie Timon, big supporter of West Point and also big supporter of us. Helped us go on a couple of road trips. And all folks in our local sponsors, I got to thank RallyPoint.com, one of our sponsors and one of our distribution partners, the Department of Indiana. And also our local sponsors, White Plains Bake Shop, Gedney Auto, Tommy and the group get us ready for a lot of our drive-to road trips, got us through a trip to Norfolk, Virginia a couple of weeks ago. And let's switch to the other side of the camera. So thank our sponsors and Westchester Family Chiropractic, Richard Davidson, as we say, takes care of the best athletes in the world and the rest of us. So we'll be at West Point on Friday night for the opener of Army football, and that is Army will host Rice, and Army trying to build on last season's 11-2 record. Commander-in-Chief Trophy win, Lambert Trophy win, and a great season, but it's all new players, so it's going to be fun. We got to the University of Michigan a week after that, so it's going to be neat. And watch and listen to our show on WVOX on Monday at 2:30, every Monday at 2:30 on WVOX 1460 AM from New Rochelle, New York. And we are very proud at tomorrow at the National American Legion Press Association that will receive 2 awards named for Robert Morrell, a longtime official of the American Legion, for our work covering veterans, telling the story of veterans through social media. So that's going to wrap it up from downtown Indianapolis for our team from Sons of the American Legion Radio. That's again based in White Plains, New York, Post 135, the whole detachment of New York. Glad to give you this production. So for our team, this is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio from downtown Indianapolis, Indiana at the American Legion National Convention. Thank you for watching.